now I'm actually going to tell you a little story before I finish off this night. So, I started going to open mics last year. No, sorry, 2 years ago, around like the end of April. And in my first open mic, I performed two poems. One called Autumn's Leaves or something, and the other one was called Boyfriend with a Loveless Space. Now, I wrote Boyfriend with a Loveless Space from just because I was just heartbroken. A very one-sided heartbroken, by the way. But it was kind of a poem that formed from reminiscence and wanting someone to remember you and remember your memories together. So I performed the first draft of Boyfriend with a Loveless Space at that open mic, and then soon after that I completed that draft and turned it into a short film, which was on live television back last year. You can watch Boyfriend with a Loveless Space, the short film, on YouTube, by the way. Quick flex there, sorry. But I actually never performed the completed version live. So that is what I am about to do. And I'll be doing that by first introducing a poem called The Letters, and then it'll kind of flow into it. So here goes, Here goes nothing. I cried to my mom one night, sitting on the edge of my bed. I whisper through the tears, this love's one-sided and hard to forget. I ask her, what did you do when you were my age? She offers to show me the letters she wrote to her first love to make my pain go away. The first letter's sweet. It reminds me how I used to love when I was 14. Days of innocence, joy-filled streets, sunsets on rooftops, class parties. The second letter's starting to fade. Some letters are smeared or erased. I can tell this is an important part of her history. All the memories clumped onto a crumpled sheet. So I read it, and I find myself 30 years ago, sitting on the edge of my mother's bed, listening to ballads, teardrops staining her clothes. And all of a sudden, I hear her mutter a timeless phrase. Will you remember me before time shows its face? Did he remember her? I know she remembers him, because she knows about the letters and lets her teenage self live. She suggests I do the same, write it all out. So I call my letter Boyfriend with a Loveless Space, and this is how it sounds. I used to imagine it, running into your arms across meadows of grass as we touched our hands together. Our bodies would intertwine as I would feel your spine, your torso touching mine, and nothing would feel better. It would have been sunset. The rays would have been stroking our faces as they'd seemingly erase themselves into the sea. But I wouldn't mind the nearing darkness. In fact, I'd find it an opportunity to bless the fact that you were with me. Through sickness and through health, through dusk and through dawn, your existence projected wealth, mine projected a pawn. In a big game of chess for my heart, someone decided to call checkmate. I never saw us floating apart. I thought you were my best mate. In sickness and in health, I kept you to myself while you wasted your days and spent them with the idea of someone else. I manifested a happy ending. I guess the universe couldn't take it anymore. All the asking, wishing, receiving went straight out the door. What did I do it for? All the praying, all the staying after hours and just waiting for you to show up when you couldn't. Not for me, not for you, not for anyone else, because you were so preoccupied with following your own impulse. Oh, sorry, I gotta go. Oh, sorry that you didn't know that your presence was needed and that my skin was peeling under the burdens of society because you were nowhere near beside me when I was sitting at the crowded table and everyone was sharing fables. I always thought you showed up. But I guess we lived in two different timelines. You lived in one with your friends, while I thrived in the limelight. Isn't that strange? That all those superheroes you followed mercilessly predicted our futures and didn't think to save not one of our destinies? Isn't it deranged that you thought instead of saving yourself from me, you'd gaze into the direction of insanity? You know, sometimes I miss the smell of your cologne as it stained my floral cardigan when you leaned in for a hug. Sometimes I miss the moments when I'd sit in your father's car, how when you started forming scars, I started seeing stars. Sometimes I can't help myself but look right into you, be mesmerized by your crystal blue and watch our memories play through. And all of a sudden I am there, on the outstretched field. You're waving your hands towards me and I'm running. I'm running towards you, and all our memories are just flooding past me. Like the times we dressed up, and the times we messed up, and the times we blessed, and the time we stressed about school and how it felt to be cool, and all the food we drooled over, and all the hearts we fooled, and all the times we carpooled to many places. All the traces of you I still have still make me sad, because everything I remember is everything I had. And sometimes I feel glad when I see you, just a glance, and I remember the one time we danced like I was under a trance, and God, it felt good to start making plans, because before you left, you were all I had. You were all I had, and now your presence is thin air, because when I finally get to you, there's no one there. So I used to imagine running towards you, barefoot, in the field of dreams, because there's no one out to reach me in the field of reality. Thank you so much.